It's in a markup in a different committee that has its hearing room moved to the other side of the Capitol, so it's taken a bit to get over here. So I'll just step in to get us started and just note that the bipartisan infrastructure law has made landmark investments across all ways of traveling that keep people moving and keep our economy moving. That includes investments in transit. Now, Congress provided record transit investments that are improving safety. They're helping transit agencies purchase new buses and rail cars, and therefore creating jobs and economic opportunity. Transit agencies are taking proactive steps to support ridership by redesigning bus networks, adding service on nights and weekends, improving frequency, and providing better pay and incentives to workers. Communities are reaping these benefits with transit rebounding to 84% of pre-COVID ridership levels. In my own district, a lot of this is happening. All these innovations the chair discussed are all happening in my district, depending on the transit agency as well. A lot of these investments have occurred in my district, including $15 million for island transit on Whidbey Island that is exploring the purchasing of hydrogen fuel cell buses and fueling infrastructure. There's reinvestments into operation and maintenance facilities as well. These investments have brought over $58 million for community transit's Swift Orange Line BRT. That service has been open for just over a year and has already transported 810,000 riders. Similar investments are happening all over the country. The BIL included investments to broaden the reach of transit and to ensure that transit works better for everyone. Congress created the All Stations Accessibility Program to make sure we're living up to the promises of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Congress has provided support for ferry service in rural areas and investments in low-emission vessels of the future. The BIL is replacing aging rail cars to make transit systems more reliable for travelers. And Congress also prioritized protecting frontline transit workers and providing them the skills they need to operate and maintain the next generation of buses. These investments are as well boosting the economy and creating jobs. Transit provides economic security for those who ride transit systems and those who help build, maintain, and operate them. The transit industry is a significant job creator, directly employing 430,000 people and, of course, supporting millions of private sector jobs. 77% of federal public transportation investments flow to the private sector. And every $1 billion that we authorize and get spent for transit that we provide creates or sustains 50,000 jobs. And so today, we'll hear a lot of testimony. We'll hear from the Transportation Trades Department of the AFL-CIO, whose members proudly do these jobs every day. And I look forward to learning how Congress can continue to support transit workers in the reauthorization bill. But even businesses that do not have a direct tie to the transit industry reap these benefits, since nearly 9 out of 10 transit trips have a direct impact on local economies. Transit is a tangible cost saver for individual families. According to one of our witnesses today, the American Public Transportation Association, the average household spends 16 cents of every dollar on transportation, and 93% of this goes to buying, maintaining, and operating cars, the single largest family expenditure after housing. By taking transit, living with one less car, the potential for households is that they can save $13,000 a year to spend on other things. Providing options to ensure people can get to where they need to go is even more crucial today as costs mount for Americans. Now, while the BIL made historic strides to improve public transit systems and service, transit systems require ongoing investment. The American Society of Civil Engineers estimates a $152 billion backlog over the next 10 years to bring our transit systems up to a state of good repair. Disinvestment in America's infrastructure did not happen overnight, nor will it be fixed overnight. That's why we need to build on the progress that we made in the BIL, and I'm committed to developing a bipartisan transportation bill, and transit will be a key component of that. Whether you represent a major city, suburban communities, or rural areas, like I do in my district all over the place, there are people, regardless of how they get around, they do rely on transit, and they're employed in the transit sector. So I look forward to hearing from our witnesses today about how we can build on the success from the BIL and what we ought to be thinking about as we build the new surface transportation bill. With that, I yield back.